Hello and welcome to Sports Today's Morning News Wrap. I'm Siddharth Gulati and I'm going to bring you all the latest updates that made the headlines on different newspapers and on various digital platforms. So, as always, as it has been a usual drill, let's just begin with some cricket news and obviously some IPL news here. Well, it was another great game for the Gujarat Titans as they beat Royal Challengers Bengaluru rather comfortably in RCB's first home game of the season at the iconic M. Chinnaswamy Stadium. Well, batting first, RCB lost wickets at regular intervals, but then it was the middle order that came to their rescue and made sure that they got to 170 odd on what was a rather sticky Chinnaswamy wicket. But then in response, Gujarat Titans, they made sure that they got off to a great start. Once again, Sai Sudarshan got that useful 40-45 odd, and towards the end it was Joss Butler who made sure that Gujarat Titans crossed the line without any hurry or without any worry for that matter. So another great game for Gujarat Titans, and obviously RCB have a lot to ponder about. And as far as Virat Kohli's injury update is concerned, well, remember Virat Kohli had actually injured his finger while fielding during Gujarat Titans' batting innings, and he had suffered a finger injury at that point. But then there is an update that Andy Flower, the head coach of the team, has provided, and it's great news for RCB fans because Virat Kohli is keeping fine and he should be fit and ready for the next game. So that's about it as far as the RCB versus GT game is concerned. Obviously, GT won that, and as far as Kohli's injury update goes, he's fine and he should be ready for RCB's next game of the season. Moving on to what's in store for today, it's going to be KKR versus SRH. Both teams have actually lost a couple of games. They've only won just one of their three games so far. So they would really want to be back on track as far as the IPL 2025 season goes. And if we talk about what advice Dwayne Bravo has for the KKR batters, he has first of all actually called them reckless, saying that their reckless approach or the poor approach has been one of the major reasons why KKR haven't really done well so far in the IPL 2025 season. And that's where Dwayne Bravo has asked the KKR batters to focus on the smarts of the game, play a little more intelligently against the likes of SRH bowlers Pat Cummins, Mohammad Shami, Harshal Patel for that matter, and make sure that they come on the winning side against the Hyderabad franchise. So this is the kind of advice that Dwayne Bravo has for KKR batters. And in case of SRH, obviously they have been a little found out with their approach. Bowlers from different franchises have actually made sure that they have gotten those key wickets up front of the SRH batters, and that has been pretty okay for them so as to make sure that they restrict the Hyderabad franchise and chase those totals. So for Hyderabad, it's basically going to be a case of having a plan B, something that's going to be very important as far as their progression through to the IPL playoff would be concerned. So that's where they would want to get those big scores and at the very same time also strike a balance between playing aggressive cricket and playing mature cricket, something that would be the need of the hour in this IPL, knowing that there haven't been those big scores all around, and the key might just be to get those 170 or 180 odd consistently, and that might just prove to be a winning score. So that's also about it as far as the KKR versus SRH game is concerned. And maybe just let's see what the newspapers really have to say. But before we move on, let's take this comment of Raj here. Raj, good morning. SRH should try Kamindu Mendes if suppose batting collapse happens to stabilize the innings, and handy spin bowler also. Aniket Verma injury. Well, there's nothing much of an update about Aniket Verma. Like there's not major worry about him, because all that I can actually find is that he should be okay to go for this game against SRH. But then if he's really injured, then SRH might have to tinker with their combination, because even Abhinav Manohar Sarangini isn't even scoring those runs. So that's where I think SRH will have to plan things accordingly. And if Aniket Verma is ruled out, then Kamindu Mendes might just be a good option to come in, which means that both Vian Mulder and even Adam Zampa might not be in consideration, because any which ways you will have to persist with the likes of Travis Head, Henrik Klassen, and Pat Cummins, because they are sure shot starters. But Kamindu Mendes coming in, assuming there is an injury, I think that might still be a pretty decent move for SRH. So let's just see, what the newspapers really have to say in this case. Also, I think before we move in, there's one interesting stat that I came across, that RCB's poor run at the M. Chinnaswamy Stadium has actually continued in IPL 2020, in IPL and WPL. In WPL, they did not really win a home game, and even in their maiden home game of IPL 2025, they lost to Gujarat Titans. So it's 5-5, five losses in a row, and that's where I think RCB would want some kind of a course correction. Austin Kuna, good morning, mate. Shami and Cummins have gone for 217 runs in 18 overs combined at a very poor economy of 12. How big of a concern is that? It's a massive concern. I think, Austin, you might just remember this, because when we were discussing about the teams in our IPL pre-shows before the beginning of the season, I had said this categorically, that if there is a big weakness that SRH have, it is their middle overs and the death overs. And if you talk about Mohammad Shami and Pat Cummins, with all due respect, they have never really been those established T20 bowlers. It's just about hitting the hard lengths and making sure that they do well with the new ball, because towards the middle overs and in the death overs, Pat Cummins and Mohammad Shami aren't really that effective, and that might just go on to prove costly for SRH here. So that's basically the point with SRH. They really have a lot to ponder over, and on a small ground like the Eden Gardens, I think they might just be in for a massive test. Another comment by Austin. Yes, sir, a great point, great test bowlers, but not up to the mark in T20s. That's the case. Rupayan has a comment: is Virat Kohli's injury serious? No, nothing serious at all. That's what Andy Clark has confirmed, that Kohli is fit and he should be ready to go for RCB's next game of the season. So that's not a problem at all. Let's just see what the newspapers really have to say now. Rohit Sharma has basically said that his role has changed at MI over the years. Rohit basically means here is that when he started, things were obviously changed. He used to bat in the middle order. He was the captain also, but now he's not. So it's more about being a mentor, and at the very same time making sure that he gets those crucial runs for his team. And he has also talked about what's the MI culture like. They have many players from England and New Zealand, and that's where Ryan Rickelton is also turning out to be an exciting prospect for them. Shane Watson has said that India cannot push the breaking point with Jasprit Bumrah again, because consistent back injuries can actually halt or even end a player's career. So that's where maybe India will have to find a balance as to how they want to use Jasprit Bumrah, not just in Test cricket but across formats. Another comment by Raj here: SRH should replace Sachin Baby in place of Abhinav Manohar, and Kamindu Mendes in place of Zampa. Or what about Ishan Malinga? I think, see, in such a crucial game, I'll just tell you, what I would do if I would be the SRH captain. First of all, I would really hope that if that Aniket Verma is fit. And if he is indeed fit, then he definitely makes my starting 11 with the kind of form that he has shown. But if he is not fit, then what do you really do? You can bring in a Kamindu Mendes, and despite not Mendes being an established T20 batter, you can still rely on his most recent form, because he has done extremely well in Test cricket, has been pretty okay in ODIs also. So no harm in persisting with him. No harm in basically giving him that first game of the season. What it does is that 4 overseas players would be fine: Henrik Klassen, Pat Cummins, Travis Head, and Kamindu Mendes. What it also basically does is that there would not really be any place for Ishan Malinga, although he's an exciting prospect. Even I would want to see him play for SRH and even Sri Lanka also on a consistent basis. And about Sachin Baby, I think it's a great option, but Abhinav Manohar also has some kind of respect as a player or maybe talent too. And if he can do well, maybe in the next couple of games also, I think it should be fine. With that said, I am ready to give Abhinav Manohar another couple of games because he is a good finisher. He basically showed that with Gujarat Titans, and there's no reason why he cannot do it with SRH too. Rupayan is saying, Sir Shami looking a little out of touch since last three games in power play. He was a beast in 2019 until 2023 amongst top three wicket takers. Will Shami come back today, sir? I think he should come back. It's obviously his home ground. He plays domestic cricket for Bengal. So there's no reason, as to why he cannot really come good. But then in case of Shami, I think we've seen over the years, even Austin had asked me this question. Shami has never been an established T20 batter. So that's where a T20 bowler. So that's where I think Shami must try some kind of variations, just like Siraj and Prasidh Krishna have done in the last couple of games or so for Gujarat Titans. And that way, I think Shami can really make a comeback in this season of IPL. Sports fan, do you think Eden Gardens would perfectly fit in SRH game? It does look like, but then KKR bowlers are also going to be very sharp. They would know what lengths to bowl, and because you cannot really be consistently bowling those hard lengths or the back of a length deliveries, because any which ways the top edges are going to fly out of the Eden Gardens. So I think it's also going to be a case of those matchups and using good variations. Austin D. Kuna, Patidar at Chinnaswamy, 166 runs, average 21 at strike rate 140, but in away games, more than 660 runs, average 40 at strike rate 170. RCB will need Patidar to step up in Chinnaswamy going forward. Good start, Austin. Rupayan, sir, what is RCB's biggest weakness according to you? Almost losing home games. I think it's just been three games. RCB have won two of them. Even the good thing that I really found about RCB was that despite losing those early wickets, their middle order actually came to their rescue, and that's great news. And the good part about RCB this time around is that they have batting until 8 or 9. So I think in case of RCB, all they really need to do is that they don't need that they must avoid RC being themselves. That's the only thing that I'll say. They have pretty much all bases covered. They don't really have those big names, and consistency is just going to be the key. One or two matches losing here or there, I don't think it's going to make any difference. So after three games, it's still very tough to tell. Let's say if they lose another couple of games, then I think some of their weaknesses will definitely be very much visible. Sports fan, what's your take on KKR batting order? Is Venki Iyer batting too low? Yes, he is. According to me, he's an ideal opener or max at number 3. Even number 4 is also fine. But I think in case of KKR, what they had done last season was that they had provided stability or the flexibility to their batters, knowing the kind of approach that they wanted throughout the season, and that's why even Venki Iyer batting at 4 or 5 turned out to be great for KKR last season. But then I think it's not really working this time around, and they might have to shuffle their batting order. Let's see how things really go. Naren is also pretty much a lottery in T20 cricket. So if he doesn't really do well with the bat in the next couple of games, then you'll have to, ponder about the team combination also. Why not open with Ankush Raghuvanshi? But then, these are still pretty early days because it's just been 10 days in the IPL. But then, yeah, if you lose one more game today, it's going to be panic signs. Rupayan, another comment, and this should be the last comment of the morning wrap. So, do you think RCB made a blunder by releasing Siraj? He should have been back despite poor season previously. Bhuvi no longer the same. His pace is down and past his prime. I wouldn't disagree with this, but in case of IPL, I think this is bound to happen. I'm not surprised at all. It will happen that players will move from one franchise to another. Your favorite player might not just be available for your favorite franchise for all his IPL seasons. I think it's just going to be about the fact that how RCB can, build a good team, and maybe this time around they have done so. But in case of Siraj or maybe in case of Chahal also, it does look like that they have made a mistake. But then I think these things will happen in IPL, so can't really blame them, if from that perspective. One last comment from Rupayan only. According to me, Rahane and Gurbaz must open. Gurbaz was previously with KKR management and understands the culture of the game. Okay, Rupayan, I'll come to your comment. Austin, pick one player to watch out for from KKR and SRH. I think in case of KKR, I'll go with Ajinkya Rahane only, and in case of SRH, Henrik Klassen. Just last comment from Rupayan that we had taken. I think Gurbaz is a good option, but better to persist with maybe Nareen as of now and see how things go. Maybe in another one game or so, if he doesn't really do well this time around, Nareen and Dickok, then you can probably think about it. But I think as of now, it looks okay. Because if KKR win today, then there are probably not going to be any questions regarding anyone's form. So that's about it as far as the morning wrap is concerned. Stay tuned to Sports Today as we'll bring you all the latest updates and analysis from the sporting world. Tanish, it is going to be there very soon. You can check out all the videos that we have done regarding the central contract. You can find it on our platform. And obviously, for today's match, there's going to be a 5 p.m. dugout, 7 p.m. toss update, mid innings, a proper discussion, full panel discussion, and same during the post match. So until then, on it's Siddharth Gulati saying goodbye, and Vinay, Virat Kohli is absolutely fine. Andy Flower has confirmed he should be ready for the next game. So it's goodbye, and we'll see you soon.